A heavy, worn-out suitcase tumbled down the marble staircase, hitting every step with a loud, painful thud before landing at the feet of a heavily pregnant woman. Lisa flinched as the bag burst open, spilling her cheap, faded clothes all over the cold floor. She didn't even have time to pick them up before a man's voice, sharp as a whip, echoed from the top of the stairs. It was James, her husband of 3 years, the man she had loved and served faithfully. But today he didn't look like a husband. He looked like a stranger. "Get out, Lisa," James shouted, fixing his expensive cufflink without even looking at her. "I am done asking nicely. Pack your trash and get out of my house." Lisa looked up, her hands trembling as she held her heavy stomach. She was 8 months pregnant. Her feet were swollen, her back was aching, and outside, the sky was turning dark gray, promising a heavy storm. She tried to speak, but the lump in her throat was too big. "James, please," she whispered, her voice cracking. "Where am I supposed to go? It is going to rain. I have no money. I have no family here. Please just let me stay until the baby comes." James laughed. It was a cold, cruel sound that made Lisa's blood run cold. He walked down the stairs slowly, stepping on one of her dresses with his polished Italian leather shoe. "That sounds like a personal problem, Lisa. I gave you 3 years. 3 years to stop acting like a village girl and start acting like the wife of a CEO. But look at you. You are still wearing rags. You still scrub floors like a maid. You are an embarrassment to my image. And now that my company is merging with the Oakhaven Group, I need a wife who looks like royalty, not a charity case." Before Lisa could answer, the sound of high heels clicking on the floor made her turn around. Walking out of the living room was Tanya. Tanya was everything Lisa was not right now. She was slim, wearing a bright red designer dress, and holding a glass of wine. She looked at Lisa with pure disgust, like she was looking at a cockroach. "Oh honey," Tanya said, sipping her wine. "Are you still here? I thought the garbage truck came on Tuesdays." If you are shocked by how heartless James and Tanya are, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel right now, because you won't believe what happens when they find out who Lisa really is. Lisa looked from Tanya to James, confusion mixed with her pain. "James, who is this?" she asked. James walked over to Tanya and wrapped his arm around her waist, pulling her close. "This is Tanya. She is a model. She is sophisticated. And she is the woman who is going to be by my side when I meet the Oakhaven CEO tonight. She knows how to walk in high heels, Lisa. You can barely walk at all." Tanya giggled and leaned her head on James's shoulder. "Don't be too hard on her, babe. It must be hard being so plain and useless. Look at her hands. They are rough from cleaning. How did you ever let those hands touch you?" James sneered. "I was drunk. It was a mistake. A mistake I am correcting today." Lisa felt a fire start to burn in her chest. For 3 years she had cooked his meals. She had ironed his shirts. She had saved every penny he gave her, refusing to buy new clothes because she wanted to save for their child's future. She played the role of the humble, supportive wife perfectly, but he didn't appreciate the sacrifice. He only saw poverty. "James," Lisa said, her voice shaking but getting louder, "I am carrying your son. Does that mean nothing to you? You are kicking your own child out onto the street for her?" Tanya stepped forward, her face turning ugly with anger. She raised her hand and slapped Lisa hard across the face. The sound echoed in the large hallway. "Don't you dare point your finger at me, you peasant!" Tanya screamed. "This is my house now. James signed the papers this morning. You are trespassing. And as for that baby, how do we even know it's James's? You probably slept with the gardener to pay for your groceries." Lisa held her stinging cheek. Tears welled up in her eyes, not from the pain of the slap, but from the betrayal. She looked at James, waiting for him to defend her, waiting for him to tell Tanya she went too far. But James just smirked. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a check. He threw it at Lisa. It fluttered down and landed in the pile of her dirty clothes. "There is $500, James said. "That is more than you are worth. Take a bus, find a motel, and disappear. If you come back here, I will have security throw you out." Lisa looked at the check. $500. After 3 years. After giving him everything. She slowly bent down, but she didn't pick up the check. She picked up a small framed photo of their wedding day that had fallen out of her suitcase. She looked at it for a second, then looked at James. "You are making a mistake, James," she said softly. "A very big mistake. You think you are rich. You think you are powerful. But you have no idea what real power looks like." James laughed so hard he nearly spilled his drink. "Did you hear that, Tanya? The maid is threatening me. What are you going to do, Lisa? Clean me to death? Scrub me out of existence? Get out." He grabbed Lisa by the arm, his grip bruising her skin, and dragged her toward the heavy oak front doors. Lisa tried to resist, but she was too weak. He opened the door and shoved her. Lisa stumbled, trying to catch her balance, but the weight of her pregnancy pulled her down. She fell hard onto the wet concrete of the driveway just as the sky opened up and the rain began to pour. Lisa gasped in pain, clutching her stomach. "My baby," she cried out. James stood in the doorway, dry and warm, with Tanya smirking behind him. "Don't act so dramatic," James spat. "You are fine. Just get off my property before the neighbors see you." He slammed the massive door shut, the sound finalizing the end of her life as Mrs. Reynolds. Lisa lay there for a moment, the cold rain soaking through her thin dress. She was shivering. Her knees were bleeding. She felt completely broken. She looked up at the massive house, the house she had turned into a home, the house where she thought she would raise her family. Now it was a fortress locked against her. She slowly pulled herself up, grabbing the handle of her broken suitcase. She didn't look back. She began to walk down the long driveway, the rain mixing with the tears on her face. She walked for 10 minutes until she reached the main road. Cars zoomed past, splashing dirty water on her. She looked like a beggar, a madwoman. But as soon as she was out of sight of the mansion, Lisa's posture changed. She stopped crying. She wiped the rain from her face with a determination that would have terrified James if he had seen it. She reached into the hidden lining of her suitcase and pulled out a sleek black phone. It wasn't the cheap cracked phone James allowed her to have. This was a satellite phone, encrypted and expensive. She dialed a number. It rang once, twice. Then a deep voice answered immediately. "Yes, ma'am?" Lisa took a deep breath. Her voice didn't sound like a poor housewife anymore. It sounded commanding. It sounded royal. "Bring the car," she said. "The Rolls-Royce. And call the board of directors. Tell them I am calling an emergency meeting." The voice on the other end hesitated for a second. "But ma'am, the merger meeting is tonight. Mr. Reynolds is expecting the CEO." Lisa looked back in the direction of the mansion, her eyes narrowing. "I know," she said coldly. "I will be there. But James isn't going to meet the CEO he thinks he is meeting. He is going to meet his worst nightmare. Come pick me up. Now." 5 minutes later, the sleek silhouette of a black Phantom Rolls-Royce cut through the rain. It didn't look like a car. It looked like a tank made for a queen. The car pulled up smoothly beside Lisa. The driver, a large man in a sharp black suit, jumped out with an umbrella. He didn't look at her rags. He didn't look at her messy hair. He bowed low, opening the back door. "Good evening, Ms. Oakhaven," he said respectfully. "We have been waiting for your call." Lisa stepped into the warm leather interior of the car. She left the broken suitcase with the cheap clothes on the side of the road. She didn't need them anymore. She sat back, and the driver handed her a towel and a glass of warm water. "Thank you, Alfred," she said. Alfred looked at her through the rearview mirror. Where to, ma'am? To your penthouse? Or to the hospital? Lisa looked out the window. The rain was pounding against the glass. No, Alfred, she said, her eyes fixed on the city lights ahead. Take me to the office. I have a husband to fire. And Alfred, stop by the bank. I want to buy the mortgage on James's house. I want him to know that the roof over his head belongs to the woman he just kicked out into the rain. Inside the quiet luxury of the Rolls-Royce, the air smelled of expensive leather and vengeance. Alfred pressed a button, and a privacy partition slid up, separating the driver's seat from the back. Lisa opened the storage compartment hidden in the armrest. Inside wasn't jewelry or cash, but a pristine white dress suit from Paris, the kind of outfit that cost more than the entire car James drove. Her hands still trembling slightly from the cold rain, unzipped the bag. She stripped off the wet, dirty rags that smelled of the floor cleaner James made her use. She balled them up and shoved them into the trash bin built into the car door. That life was over. The woman who begged for $500 was dead. She pulled on the white trousers, the silk blouse, and the sharp blazer. It fit her pregnant form perfectly, tailored to show her power, not hide her condition. She wiped the rain-streaked mascara from her face and applied a coat of bold red lipstick. She looked into the vanity mirror. The sad, broken eyes of Mrs. Reynolds were gone. Staring back were the icy, dangerous eyes of Lisa Oakhaven. She picked up the phone again. Alfred, she said, her voice steady. How long until we reach the headquarters? Alfred's voice came through the speaker. 7 minutes, ma'am. I have alerted Mr. Stevens. The security team is waiting for you at the private entrance. Meanwhile, on the top floor of the gleaming Reynolds Tower, James was pacing back and forth like a nervous tiger. The boardroom was massive, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. A long mahogany table was set with crystal water bottles and expensive notepads. James adjusted his tie for the 10th time. Tanya was sitting in the chairman's chair, the chair meant for the CEO, spinning around and taking selfies. Babe, stop pacing, Tanya said, snapping a picture of her cleavage. You are sweating. It's gross. Just relax. This Oakhaven guy is going to love you. You are charming, you are handsome, and you just got rid of the dead weight. James stopped and wiped his forehead. You don't understand, Tanya. The Oakhaven Group is worth billions. Nobody has ever seen their CEO. They say the family is incredibly private. If I mess this up, I lose everything. My company is in debt. I need this merger to save me. Tanya rolled her eyes. Well, if the CEO is a man, I'll handle him. If he's a woman, well, she's probably some old hag who needs a young man like you to smile at her. We have this in the bag. Down in the lobby, the atmosphere was about to shift violently. The automatic doors slid open, but it wasn't a guest or a delivery man. The private security team, 6 men large enough to block out the sun, marched in first. They formed a protective V-shape. Then Lisa walked in. The sound of her heels clicking on the marble floor was different now. It wasn't the shuffle of a tired housewife. It was the rhythmic, terrifying click of a predator. Click, click, click. The receptionist, a woman named Sarah who had seen Lisa bring James lunch many times, looked up. She gasped. Sarah was used to seeing Lisa in oversized sweaters and sneakers, apologizing for being late. She wasn't ready for this. Lisa, Sarah stammered, standing up. Oh my God, Lisa, you can't be here. Mr. Reynolds gave strict orders. He said if you came back, we had to call the police. You look different, but I still have to ask you to leave. Lisa didn't stop walking. She didn't even slow down. She walked right up to the desk, her bodyguards parting the way for her. Hello, Sarah, Lisa said. Her voice wasn't angry. It was terrifyingly calm. I am not here to see Mr. Reynolds as his wife. I am here to see him as his boss. Sarah blinked, confused. Boss? Lisa, have you been drinking? Mr. Reynolds owns this building. You are just, his ex. Please don't make me call security. Lisa reached into her purse and pulled out a gold key card. It was a master key, the kind that opened every single door in the building, including the safe. She tapped it on the receptionist's desk scanner. The computer screen instantly turned red, then flashed green with the words, "Access granted. Priority level alpha." Sarah's jaw dropped. The system only showed that clearance for the building owners. But how? Sarah whispered. Lisa leaned in close. Because Sarah, James doesn't own this building. He rents it. From me. Before Sarah could process what was happening, Lisa turned to her bodyguards. Let's go. The elevator awaits. If you are enjoying this story and want to see the look on James's face when the elevator doors open, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. You do not want to miss the ending of this revenge. The elevator ride to the 50th floor was silent. Lisa watched the numbers climb. 30. With every floor, her heart hardened a little more. She remembered the nights she cried herself to sleep while James was out working late with Tanya. She remembered the way he looked at her when she told him she was pregnant. Not with joy, but with annoyance. He had called her a burden. Today, the burden was coming to crush him. Ding! The elevator doors opened on the 50th floor. Mr. Stevens, the company's head lawyer, was waiting there. He was an older man with gray hair and a kind face. He was the only one who knew Lisa's secret. He had helped her draft the prenup. The prenup James thought protected him, but actually protected her. Mr. Stevens looked at Lisa, then at her stomach. "Ms. Oakhaven," he said, bowing his head. "You look magnificent. But are you sure you want to do this? The stress. The baby." "I am fine, Mr. Stevens," Lisa said, stepping out of the elevator. "Is everyone in the boardroom?" Mr. Stevens nodded. "Yes. James, the board members, and the mistress. They are waiting for the CEO of Oakhaven to arrive. They are expecting an old man in a gray suit." Lisa smiled, a cold, sharp smile. "Good. Let's not keep them waiting." Inside the boardroom, the mood was tense. James was checking his watch every 5 seconds. "He is late," James muttered. "This is disrespectful. I am the CEO of Reynolds Tech. He should be here by now." Tanya was reapplying her lipstick, using the reflection of the polished table. "Maybe he got lost," she giggled. "Or maybe he heard you have a crazy ex-wife and got scared away." The board members, old men in suits, looked uncomfortable. They didn't like Tanya. They didn't like how James had fired the cleaning staff yesterday to save money. They sensed disaster. Suddenly, the heavy double doors of the boardroom didn't just open. They were pushed open with force by the bodyguards. Bam! The sound made James jump. Tanya dropped her lipstick. Every head in the room turned toward the entrance. James stood up, putting on his best fake smile, ready to greet the old man he was expecting. "Mr. Oakhaven, so glad you could." The words died in his throat. He choked. His eyes bulged out of his head. Standing in the doorway was not an old man. It was a woman. A pregnant woman in a white suit that cost more than his car. A woman who looked exactly like the wife he had kicked into the rain less than an hour ago. "Lisa," James whispered, his voice trembling. What are you doing here? How did you get past security?" "Get out. I told you to get out." He looked around at the board members, panic rising in his chest. "Gentlemen, I apologize. This is my deranged ex-wife. She is stalking me. Security. Remove her." Tanya stood up, pointing a long manicured finger at Lisa. "You have some nerve. Did you steal those clothes? Did you break into a store? You look ridiculous. Get out before we call the cops and have you arrested for trespassing." Lisa didn't yell. She didn't scream. She simply walked into the room. The bodyguards flanked her, staring down anyone who moved. She walked straight to the head of the table, the seat where the CEO of Oakhaven was supposed to sit. She pulled out the chair. The leather creaked in the silent room. She sat down, crossed her legs, and placed her satellite phone on the table. James looked at Mr. Stevens, the lawyer. "Stevens, do something. Get her out of that chair. That chair is for the CEO." Mr. Stevens adjusted his glasses and looked James dead in the eye. "I know, James," Mr. Stevens said calmly, "and she is sitting in it." James froze. The room went so quiet you could hear a pin drop. "What did you say?" James asked, his voice barely a squeak. Mr. Stevens pointed at Lisa. "Gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the majority shareholder of the Oakhaven Group, the owner of this building, and the person who holds the debt on this company, Ms. Lisa Oakhaven." James stared at Mr. Stevens, his mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. A nervous laugh escaped his throat, sounding more like a choke. "This is a joke, right?" James looked around the room, pleading with the board members to laugh with him. "Is this some kind of sick prank? Lisa hired you, didn't she, Stevens? She paid you to say this? Look at her. She is wearing a suit she probably stole. She is a nobody. She is the daughter of a farmer." Lisa didn't even blink. She reached into her leather folder and pulled out a thick stack of documents. She slid them across the long mahogany table. The papers stopped right in front of James. "Read it," Lisa said. Her voice was so quiet, yet it carried more weight than any scream. "Read the name on the deed of trust for this building. Read the name on the loan documents that saved your company from bankruptcy last year. Read the name of the person who actually pays your salary, James." James's shaking hands picked up the papers. His eyes scanned the lines. Lender, Oakhaven Holdings. Signatory, Lisa Oakhaven. Property owner, Lisa Oakhaven. His knees gave out and he collapsed back into his chair. The color drained from his face so fast he looked like a ghost. "It says your name," he whispered. "But how? You scrubbed floors. You clipped coupons. You begged me for grocery money." Lisa leaned forward, her eyes locking onto his. "I scrubbed floors because I wanted to be a wife, not a bank account. I clipped coupons because I wanted to build a life with you based on values, not vanity. I pretended to be poor, James, because I needed to know if you loved me." She paused, letting the silence crush him. "And you failed. You failed in the most spectacular way possible. You didn't just fail as a husband. You failed as a father. And now you have failed as a CEO." Tanya, who had been silent, suddenly stood up. She wasn't smart enough to read the room. She only knew one thing: attack. "You are lying," she shrieked. "You printed those papers at home." "James, don't believe her. She is just a jealous, fat ex-wife trying to ruin your big day. Kick her out." Lisa turned her gaze to Tanya. It was like a lion looking at a buzzing fly. "Tanya," Lisa said, "do you like that dress you are wearing? The red one?" Tanya puffed out her chest. "Yes. It's Valiani. It costs $5,000. James bought it for me. It's a real designer, unlike your cheap suit." Lisa smiled. It was a terrifying smile. "I know it's a Valiani," Lisa said, "because I own Valiani. My family bought the fashion house 3 years ago. In fact," she pulled out her phone and tapped a button. "I am sending a memo to the brand manager right now. You are blacklisted. You are no longer allowed to wear our brand. And since you are standing on my property wearing my brand, insulting the owner, you are creating a liability." The board members, who had been watching in shock, suddenly started murmuring. One of them, an old man named Mr. Henderson, stood up. "Mr. Reynolds," he said sternly, "it appears you have grossly humiliated our majority shareholder. I move for an immediate vote of no confidence." James jumped up. "No, you can't do this. I built this company. Lisa stood up slowly. No, James. You built debt. I paid for it. And as of this moment, she looked at her watch. You are fired. You are stripped of your title, your shares are seized to pay for the loan defaults, and you are banned from the premises. James felt the room spinning. His billionaire lifestyle, his reputation, his future, it was all dissolving like sugar in hot water. He looked at Lisa, really looked at her, and for the first time he didn't see a maid. He saw the power she had been hiding. Panic set in. He realized he was about to lose not just the company, but the woman who could have given him everything. Lisa! Wait! James scrambled around the table, falling to his knees in front of her. He tried to grab her hand, but the bodyguard stepped in and shoved him back. Lisa, baby, please. I didn't know. If you had told me, things would have been different. I was stressed. The merger. The pressure. It made me crazy. I love you. I always loved you. Tanya means nothing to me. She is just a fling. Tanya gasped. Excuse me. A fling. James ignored her. He crawled toward Lisa, tears streaming down his face. Think about the baby, Lisa. Our son. He needs his father. He needs to grow up in this empire we built. Don't take my son away from me. Lisa looked down at him. Her face softened for a split second, and James thought he had won. He thought he had manipulated her again. But then her face hardened like a diamond. My son will grow up in an empire, James. But it will be my empire. He will be raised to respect women. He will be raised to value loyalty. He will be an Oakhaven. He will never, ever be a Reynolds. She turned to the head of security. Remove them, both of them, and make sure they take the stairs. The elevators are for employees only. No, James screamed as two massive guards grabbed him by the arms. You can't do this. I am the CEO. I am the king of this city. Tanya tried to run toward Lisa. Lisa, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I can be your assistant. I can. A guard grabbed her by the back of her expensive red dress and dragged her toward the door. The entire boardroom watched in silence as the screaming couple was dragged out. The heavy doors slammed shut, cutting off their wails. The silence that followed was heavy. Lisa took a deep breath. She placed a hand on her stomach. She felt a kick. Her baby was awake. She looked at the board members, who were all staring at her with fear and respect. Gentlemen, Lisa said, sitting down in the chairman's seat. Now that the trash has been taken out, shall we discuss the future of my company? Outside, the storm was raging harder than ever. The side door of the skyscraper burst open, and James and Tanya were thrown out onto the wet pavement. It was the exact same spot where, an hour ago, James had parked his Ferrari. Now he landed in a puddle of muddy water. His expensive suit was soaked instantly. Tanya landed next to him, breaking the heel of her shoe. My shoe! Tanya screamed. You idiot, James. You said you were a billionaire. You said you had it handled. Now look at us. I'm wet. I'm cold. And I'm blacklisted. James sat up, wiping mud from his face. He looked up at the towering glass building. Way up on the 50th floor, the lights were blazing. He knew Lisa was up there. He knew she was sitting in his chair, signing his papers, erasing his legacy. He realized with a sickening thud in his stomach that the prenup he forced her to sign, the one that said, "What is yours, and what is mine," meant he was leaving with absolutely nothing. The house was in her name. The company was in her name. He didn't even have a car ride home because the company car keys had been taken by the guards. You ruined my life. James screamed at Tanya. If it wasn't for you, I would still be married to a billionaire. I would be the father of an heir. Tanya spat at him. You ruined yourself, loser. I'm looking for a new rich guy. She took off her broken shoes and hobbled away into the rain. leaving him alone. James sat in the rain, burying his face in his hands. He remembered the moment he kicked Lisa out. He remembered her begging. He remembered the look in her eyes when she said, "You have no idea what real power looks like." Now he knew, and he would pay for it for the rest of his life. Up in the boardroom, the meeting was over. Lisa walked over to the floor-to-ceiling window. She looked down at the street. The cars looked like tiny toys. The people looked like ants. She couldn't see James in the darkness, and she didn't want to. She rubbed her stomach gently. "We did it, little one," she whispered to her unborn son. "We are safe. And we are never going to let anyone make us feel small again." She turned around and walked out of the room, her head held high, ready to rule her world. If you enjoyed seeing James get exactly what he deserved, hit that like button and share this story with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in our next story, a mother-in-law tries to cancel a wedding, only to realize the bride owns the church. You won't want to miss it.